Okay, hi, my name's Nikki. I'm here to explain to you how to set this whole program up. Just here you'll see a list of all the programs you'll need. You'll find these in the video description for you to click and download. I'm just going to show you how to set up your SYNTIEN interface once you've done that. So once you've downloaded from the App Store, open up the app and turn off the listen for incoming messages. And just here in the port, you can change that port to the number 9000. Now you want to add a custom interface, so press the plus button, hold down the untitled and rename it, and you can make it the Apprentice. Press OK, and once you've done that, press done up in the corner, and you can change the profile of the interface, but we just like to keep it just upright, normal. So these buttons down in the bottom here, you can add 3 separate buttons here, these blue buttons. And also you want to add what's called an XY slider, and that can just go wherever you want it on the screen. All of these buttons can be moved around wherever you like. And then to edit the buttons, we'll need to do some programming for those. So hold down the button and press Options. You can just turn off Receive OSC and turn off Use Default Address because we want to make it on/off, because that's what our max patch will be listening to, but we'll get to that. And then the number of states, we want to make it 2 states, and we also want to change the text to on/off, and here we'll change the number of states. You can change the color too if you'd like. We'll need to do this again for the next button. So same again, we'll do that. We'll turn off Receive OSC and Use Default Address, and we'll change the name as well. This one will be called Metro. Can change the color, text on the button, and the number of states to 2. Then finally is our clear button. So we're just going to follow the same steps again. Change the name to clear. Change the color if you'd like. And with this one, we're going to right clear in the text button there, but we're also just going to leave the number of states just to 1. We don't need to change that for this time. So next is our XY slider. As you see here, you can make it bigger and smaller by just dragging 2 sides of the icon out. You can move your buttons around accordingly if you want to. So this is our XY slider. It just moves around in space from your finger touch. So we just need to make sure that we name that correctly, and we just change some features. So if we just hold down on the XY slider, we can open up the options for that. And same again, we want to turn off Receive OSC and Default Address, and we can do the 2D slider part here. We can change that to just XY. Now we want to turn off we want smooth transitions in place, and turn off resets to default if that's in place. And there you have it, you have your SYNTIEN patch. Now if you open up your patch, so we can open up our Max patch. In here we've got our Getting Started with the link to this video that you're watching if you need to go back. So we're just going to be testing our buttons. So if you see here that the buttons are lighting up, these 3 icons here. And what we need to do next is we need to float over the bottom corner, turn off the padlock button, and just change our IP address to the IP address of the computer that you will be running your Grasshopper patch on. If it's the same computer, just write localhost, which is just the default setting there. Now up in the corner we also have a desired repeats calculator for you to see how many points there will be in your patch. So we would like 5 repeats, and because we've got 20 points in 1 repeat, we've got a counter down here. So when we start our patch, we will see some numbers coming through. We'll press clear first, turn the on button and the Metro button on, and we'll start to see some numbers coming through. And if you see on this this icon here where I've got my pointer near, the button will flash when it gets to 20, and that's when you can see that I've turned the Metro button off, and that will mean that those first 20 numbers will just repeat through. And so that's how you know that you will have the correct amount of repeats going through to your Grasshopper patch. So those will just cycle through. We've got our XY coordinates, and we also have just a constant 0 for our Z coordinates. Then we're going to open up our Grasshopper patch. We'll reset the receiver, double click to make sure that we've got the right UR10 robot, which we do there, and then you just start recording. So this is going to be recording that data that's coming through. You can reset it if you need to. Change your static IP address here, which is automatically set to the UR10 robot static IP address. Upload your robot, and then you can play your program, and that will come out little something like this. Here's just a little demonstration of how you would do it in situ. You see I'm checking my buttons, I'm opening up my Grasshopper patch, pressing record, putting in my data, double checking my IP address. I've turned my Metro off now, so it's just going to be giving the same 20 numbers over and over again. So those will be our repeated movements. And then I'll upload to program, and then I'll press play. And here you have it. This is our robot just moving through our cycle. Right, and I also just have a little simulation here to show you what exactly the robot is doing. Unfortunately, this simulation is upside down, but that's just a little Grasshopper bug that we haven't been able to fix. But you can see that it's just moving to those points that you've given it, and it'll just follow along. So those points are the data that you've sent through from your MAXMSP file. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. This was The Apprentice.